Hey guys, welcome to the Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and we are going to be test driving the Endurance Pack for rFactor 2. Now, I've been really excited for this pack because this is one of the most ambitious releases yet. It's, I think, the first DLC that's a true multi-class release. So this will have the LMP2, LMP3, and GTE cars. I believe it's adding 5 cars. The Porsche 911 RSR, Bmw M8 Gt3, Corvette C7R, Oreca LMP207, and the Norma M30 LMP3. I am really excited to get behind the wheel of this, and we'll just take a quick look at what all's going on. So, the Oreca 07 LMP2. This is basically, it's been around for a long time and just really evolved. And it's interesting because Oreca 07, and it's just an evolution of the original car debuting in 2006. And it's still being used. And I believe it actually, didn't it win Le Mans after G-Drive got disqualified? Or at least finish on the podium. So it's still a very good LMP2 race car. So I'm excited to drive this, and it's interesting. Then the Norma M30 LMP3. This I'm not as well knowledged on. It's interesting. I actually met a guy recently who actually owns an M30 or M30, and he talked about it's a lot of fun to drive. So we'll see if that's actually true. But it's interesting, in the LMP3 category, no anti-lock brakes or traction control allowed. So it's going to be interesting to drive this. Porsche 911 RSR, one of my favorite sounding GT race cars as of right now. This thing absolutely howls, and hopefully in rFactor 2 it sounds pretty good. I haven't really seen any gameplay footage. I was a little busy this weekend. I went down to Los Angeles to see the Le Mans watch party with Forza Motorsport. Video on that coming later this week. Corvette C7R, Pratt & Miller designed car. Really excited for this. Like, a lot of fun to drive. And I enjoyed it in Assetto Corsa, and let's see how it is in rFactor 2. And yeah, so I believe it did debut 2016 Rolex 24 Hour, and then Corvette won its class in Le Mans 8 times, 107 out of 202 events they competed in. Jeez. So this is the latest spec car, updated diffuser and rear wing, so this should be exciting. Bmw M8 Gt3. I have mixed feelings about this car because BMW Z4 was one of my favorite GT race cars of all time, and now it's replaced with the M8, which it's a visually stunning car. I mean, I'll say that. Sounds nowhere near as good as what the Z4 sounded like, though. But this is the first racing simulation to feature the car after seeing it in action at Spa earlier this year. So this should be exciting. New features added alongside this pack. In-car traction control. So, one of the gripes I've had with rFactor 2 is that compared to other sims, the, say, traction control, or in IndyCar, weight jacker, you couldn't adjust those settings. Now you can adjust the traction control and ABS in-car if you want to map your settings for that, which is very nice. You can also adjust the map system and the mapping in the garage screen. Great feature. About time. Position lights. I'm excited for that. So that just adds that extra level of authenticity. So yeah, I think that's a great addition as well. Road ahead. What about existing cars? Close collaboration with teams, yada yada. Marketing. Laser scan version of Sebring. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for the laser scan Sebring. And it'll be interesting because I think that's the first party track that's laser scanned for rFactor 2. So we will be able to see how that works. So let's get behind the wheel of these cars. Launch up Steam, rFactor 2, and hold on, I need to make sure my game capture is set up properly. I had it set to capture Taurus Trophy earlier, so we need to just adjust things a bit. But yeah, it's a little unfortunate. I come back from my trip and my right monitor's dead. So my right monitor's, as of right now, kaput. So I need to file a warranty claim or whatever with it. So just gotta be patient. Right now it's synchronizing with Steam Workshop, so I just have to wait right now. So yeah. I installed a few tracks like Le Mans Bugatti circuit. Also, I have the full Le Mans 17 and also the virtual LM configuration, I think. So we have a lot going on. And hey, ATM Gaming, yeah, it's good to be back. I was in Los Angeles last weekend because Microsoft invited me to a Le Mans watch party, which was pretty fun. And also, hold on. I ended up winning this at the party. I won this Xbox One S with the Forza Horizon 3 Hot Wheel pack. So yeah, I'm excited to try that out later. Godwind, it does get pretty cold in California at times. It really does. Hold on a second. Let me make sure my video settings are properly set up. VR disabled. So yeah. I didn't really get to stay up to watch the LM24. I watched a few hours of it at the party, but just didn't really get to watch the remainder of it because I was staying with my sister and her boyfriend, or not boyfriend, sister and my brother-in-law, and they didn't have TV there. Isn't the Corvette from the Endurance Pack just the URD model? I think you are... Okay, so Adam Crane, a little bit of backstory. URD, Alice Organ, or I think it's Organic or something like that. But Alice, he is a staff member of Studio 397. So the guy who runs URD is actually a staff member of Studio 397. So that's why it's just the URD model, because URD is basically like partners with Studio 397. So just a heads up, that's why it's just that model. It's because they are not one and the same, but they have such a close technical partnership that some of URD's members are Studio 397 staff. So hold on. So let's see. Would this be under Endurance Pack or no? It's under each individual manufacturer. So let's try this Porsche first. That's really what I'm excited. Go from GT upwards to LMP1. Well, that's a little tough because there's no LMP1 in this, but we will work our way up. So there are a mix of real world and fictional liveries. There's no real world Heusinkveld livery, unfortunately, but it's cool to see some fictional liveries thrown into the mix. So I think now here's the real 911 livery. Why no LMP1? I'm guessing that might be something that could come in the future. That would be my guess. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Please, Studio 397. But I think it's just something where they can only work on what they can get right now. So, yeah. So let's fire up. I have the virtual LM Sebring endurance course. I think that would be a good way to test out the RSR. I really like this track, even though it is a little behind on the times in terms of updates. It's still a fun car and track combo. Daniel, tomorrow order T3PA Pro set gets delivered. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy it. So let's take a look. It's loading. Da 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 da. But yeah, so this should be exciting. I am so stoked to be able to finally drive this. The RSR though, let's really hope it works well. I struggle to get used to Sebring. For me, is one with every car is a different story. Yeah, especially because this is the older course. It is really, it is a situation where it's very bumpy. Cars react to bumps very differently, depending on like suspension configuration, suspension settings, etc. Because I remember, say, driving in the Indy car, that thing is like, those bumps get brutal. Bought the Le Mans Project Cars 2-pack. Unbelievable compared to LMP1s and base game. You can definitely tell they did put a little more effort into the DLC pack, in my opinion. Especially with it being more modern. I wish it had adjustable hybrid settings, though, instead of just the hybrid working like an ERS. Okay, so have degrees rotation set properly. Let's turn on the HUD though. But idle sounds okay. Oh, I have the wrong oh, that sounds good. Please tell me you're hearing that. Yeah! Oh, yeah. Okay. First thought, this sounds better than iRacing's version. I second that suggestion for Automobilista. I second that. That is a good option. Okay, I'm just going to shut up for about half a lap and let you bask in this sound. Okay, so early impressions on driving this car. So you can definitely tell it is not the conventional rear-engined Porsche race cars. Because the Porsche 991 RSR, this was the first mid-engined Porsche race car in the GT class. So this was the first GT Porsche that was a mid-engine design. All the other ones had more of a rear engine setup, so that was more over the rear axle, I think. This is the engine shifted a little further forward, which I think makes it a little neutral, or even, dare I say, a little prone to understeer. But I'm liking the feel of this car. Default setup is alright. Default setup is definitely drivable. This car does feel similar to the iRacingWay, where trail braking, this car is not a big fan of. This car is not a big fan of trail braking, I'm finding. But it's pretty good handling. I'm enjoying it. This car can definitely be lively if you throw it into a corner or something like that. And just saying like it's more neutral handling, that doesn't necessarily mean it's easy to drive. This car is still a Porsche. It's still intense. It's still that kind of car that could really bite you in the butt. But some things I do want to note. A few things I want to note. One thing that's actually absent from this version of the car compared to other Sims, which is frustrating, no traction loss lights. So if you look on the iRacing, look on the Assetto Corsa, or I think even the Project Cars 2 version, they have what is the traction control lights. So on top of the dash, there are 2 rows of purple lights. And as the wheels lose traction, or as it starts to spin the wheels, those lights will pop up to show you're losing traction. This car doesn't have those. I don't see them anywhere. I see purple lights on top, but those are just aesthetic or something. And then also those lights on the sides of the steering wheel, those were also for traction loss, I think. And those are kind of copped out by Studio 397. That's a little disappointing, but I understand why they would have done that. But hopefully maybe in a future update they might be able to implement that, because that was a cool feature that the Porsche cars, maybe other manufacturers had, that you could have traction loss lights. So that is a little unfortunate that it's not on this. It's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker, but when other Sims are having it, I would have liked to see rFactor 2 have this as well. But handling wise, sound wise, I am really digging this car. And what I was mentioning is, like, with this sound being better than iRacing in my opinion, that is largely because it feels like this is a little more raw. I felt that there was this sort of element of depth and pitch that was missing from iRacing's version that I feel is present in this one. This feels more like a howl than just like a scream. I'm not sure if that really makes sense, but this, I think, feels closer, or sounds closer, and I like it. I could be off base. I've never driven an RSR GTE race car, so I can't really vouch for it, but I think this sounds more like how I would want this car to sound. So we'll finish up this lap, and then we will switch to the next car. And then we'll experiment with a couple of those new features that were mentioned. When will I next be doing Assetto Corsa? Likely tomorrow. Tomorrow we are kicking off the next season in Sim Racing Systems. Next season for Sim Racing System is tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. So stay tuned for that. That is coming soon. I know it's a little tough for people on the East Coast, but hey, Hopefully we'll get some American crowds in. Should be a fun series though. It's going to be using Porsche. So you're going to need the Porsche pack. If you go to SimRacingSystem.com, you can find what's needed. All right. So we're going to have to listen to some of this exterior, though. Okay. Very nice. Does sound slightly digitized at some parts of the power band, but sounds really good. Yeah, it seems like the ISI motor in some ways, default-wise, exterior sounds can sound a little weird. I wish they could take the sound engine from Race Room and put it in here. Yeah, not a big fan of the exterior sounds. The interior sounds, though, oh boy. It sounds like the exterior sounds for rFactor 2 have the same complaint that I have for the interior sounds in iRacing. It just is a little flat. Okay, so let's jump out of the Porsche, and we will go into the Corvette. So that would be under Chevrolet C7R GTE. So again, I think real world liveries, and then fictional. So number 37, Luminous, the parent company of Studio 397. So there's that. Heusinkveld, according to their Twitter, it gives you an extra few tenths. rFactor 2 livery. Let's just go real world. Still waiting for new rFactor 2 UI. Still really tired of this UI and lack of single player championships. You and me both. You and me both. Robert, you might want to check out, there's a plugin, the Real Head Motion plugin. I've heard that works great in rFactor 2 for VR. So you might want to take a look at that. Alright. So, time for the Corvette. So I know there was the C6R, which I want to say was the GT2. And I think GT2 class turned into GTE. rFactor 2 in VR is one of my favorites in a lot of ways, but also in some ways it's jarring. Where, for example, if you turn around, you can't see tires. Like, you won't be able to see the rear tires or something like that. It just feels like you're in half a car, per se, in a way. And I know it's still early, I know it's still technically beta, but that's something that should be taken into consideration. So, engine revs. Hold on. Just gonna turn that off. Well, that's a good exterior sound. Let's roll out. Okay, this sounds close to the GT3 version of the Corvette. Really does have that sort of grunt with it. Do I have lights mapped? With that upshift, you hear, it's almost like a punch in its own way. I'm really liking the interior sounds of this. I'll shut up for the second half of the lap and then I'll talk about some of my thoughts for this car. Okay, so interesting things to note. One thing I'm noting is that there is more depth to this car's sound than I think almost any other car in rFactor 2. What I mean by that is it seems like they might be experimenting with adding more audio effects. At speed, I'm hearing more wind effects that I don't think I was hearing with other cars. So listen. You're hearing the wind more prominently, which is interesting. You're hearing that rush of wind, which for me, I tend to associate that more with Race Room or Automobilista. But it sounds like they're incorporating this in rFactor 2 now. It's interesting because I didn't really notice that in the Porsche though. I didn't really notice that, but it sounds like this was more prominent in this car. So that's interesting to think about. Handling for this car, very easy for power on power slides or power on oversteer. Again, it's pretty neutral handling. Decent job with the default setup. Not too many surprises. If you're quick, you can catch those slides. But throw on the throttle and you are going to get that rear end stepping out. So you need to be smooth with your right foot with this car. So that is nice. Let's throw it in here. This car seems to be a little more accepting of trail braking than the Porsche. Because I think this is front engine car, I think it would be a little more accepting. So I can trail brake into the corners a little more. Just not really too many surprises. Force feedback's communicating the feeling of the road and the curbs really well. There's just not really too much extra to say about it. It's just a good Corvette GT race car, which is common nowadays. So I'm excited for this. I like this a lot. It's nice. It's performing well. Has a lot of low end torque. So theoretically you could take it, say, in like some corners in third gear instead of second. Really get that drive off. Let's try this in fourth. Test out my theory. Still broke the tires free. So last lap I took that in third gear. Fourth gear, it was okay. Felt like the car still wanted to step out a bit. I've been taking this in third gear, so let's bring it down to fourth. Little wide on exit, but we're okay. Let's jump out of this car. So you can hear the depth of the sound in this. Hold on. Let's go here. Will I ever do a PS4 stream? More likely on Project Cars 2 than Assetto Corsa, I would think. Actually, I don't think I have either for PS4. I might try to pick up Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition or something on PS4 soon. But my complaint with that Porsche sound, this one is just so much better. So much more depth. And just sounds so much more authentic, if you're noticing. Just that guttural sound of the shifts. And that low end is there. And it just sounds multifaceted in the sound as opposed to the flatness that we were getting with the Porsche sound. So, in this, the Corvette just sounds so much better. Still missing a little bit from a distance and slightly digitized at some points, but still pretty good. What's up, Dragon? What question? So that's the C7R. Now we are going to the Bmw M8 Gte. So again, sponsored by Fanatic Podium. That's not a real life race car. So that's the one that's real. I don't know about this one. G-Quam. Luminous. Heusinkveld. I would have loved to see some more sponsors because it's all the same sponsors on the cars. I would have liked to see a little more variety. I know that in the past they've done made-up brands, so that could be interesting. Is it normal that the wheel in Dirt Rally only goes 90 degrees to the right and left? I believe so. So Dirt Rally, I don't believe, has the full 1-to-1 steering wheel match. Mr. Clean, what I'm talking about is the liveries on the cars. So there are some false liveries, or made-up liveries on the cars. But for example, from what I've noticed is that the BMW, Porsche, and the Corvette, they all have the exact same sponsors. They have the exact same liveries. So it's kind of weird seeing that. I would have loved to see more offbeat ones, more variety, because that can make the field look strangely, eerily similar. Seeing 3 different manufacturers have Heusinkveld cars. Hey Gonzalo, how's it going? So I'm not sure how the sound in this is supposed to be, but almost sounds sci-fi-y. That throttle off sound is very interesting. Again, it sounds like those upshifts have that chunk that you're looking for that was kind of missing from the Porsche. I'm not sure if this is transmission whine or something when you're off the throttle. You do hear that transmission whine in the background though. Later on, I'll have to listen to some onboards of this real car, but feeling this feels like a weird compromise between that Porsche and the Corvette, where the Porsche is the most lively of the bunch. Corvette, I think, is the most stable. It's the most drivable. This... Trying to think on what this feels like, because it's its own beast. It feels totally different than the others. In a good way, but it's tough to put a finger on it because at some points it feels very lively. It feels very jumpy. Like there, just stab the throttle and you get that rear end stepping out. But this is a fun car. Yeah, you can really get this car to rotate. So I think what's nice with this is that the different GTE cars are going to match different driving styles. If you are more of a finesse-oriented driver, I'd say the Porsche is a great option. I'd say if you're looking for a GTE car that's easy to be competitive with and still like easy to drive, the Corvette is a great option. And then there's this, the BMW M8, where it's a challenge, I'll give you that, but it's definitely drivable. It's a lot of fun. You can just see it's more of a handful than all the other cars. It really is. And I don't know what you can all dial away and set up, but this, it's still a lot of fun to drive. So based off, like, we've tested the 3 GTE cars now, and then next up we will move to the LMP2. But yeah, so early thoughts on GTE cars, it's going to be exciting, especially to see like how leagues adopted. I know that the Sim Racing Club Virtual Endurance Championship, they're planning on moving up to this pack with the GTE, and then they might also incorporate the URD, United Racing Design Detroit, which is basically the Ford GT. So I think they will incorporate that. So that'll be a 4-car GTE field. It'll be unfortunate that they're going to be getting rid of Ferrari, but who knows, in the future they might make a Ferrari GTE race car. This sounds pretty good. And I was talking about trail braking. This feels pretty good under trail braking. You don't want to do it too much, or else it does feel like it'll step out. But yeah, I think personally, I would pick the Porsche if I was running a league with this. If I was running the league with this pack, I would run the Porsche. That's my personal favorite. Second would be the Corvette, and then this would be third. It's interesting, I just feel like I can't get a full handle on this car. But I bet this would suit other people's driving styles. It just doesn't really suit mine that much. But hey, it's a fun car. It's not the fault of the developers. I think it's just that it's the attributes of this car. And then after we cross the line, we'll listen to the external a little bit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Overcooked it. Whoops. First race in the SRS series? Honestly, I don't know off the top of my head. Sorry. Huh. Interesting glitch. So, I've had this glitch before with the virtual LM track where it goes in slow-mo. Looks like that is still present. That's unfortunate. So we'll switch to a different track while going up to the LMPs, I think. Decent sound, though, from what we can tell. Still doesn't hold a candle to that Z4 GT car that they used to use. That was just like beautiful sound, and now it's this. Yeah, not as big a fan. So we are going to be switching to the Norma LMP3. So there is, okay, Ultimate. I don't know that livery. Looks like these are more real liveries, and then Heusinkveld. Club AB, I think that's the promoted livery that they've been using. Let's go Heusinkveld, because also 53 is my favorite number this time. Have I used Racing Line when I started racing? Years and years ago, maybe. Racing Line can work okay, but you can't don't think of the Racing Line as the only line. Racing lines will adjust. Racing lines aren't always the same, especially when you're battling with people. So, yeah. So, let's do, should have Le Mans 2017. Hopefully, this will work okay. So after we test out the cars, I will do a simulated endurance event, I think. Braking line, or as a braking assistance. I'd say don't rely on it. Corner markers are there for a reason. Corner markers are there for you to be able to learn your braking marks, and I'd say that 9 out of 10 times, braking marks are ultra conservative. They are going to have you start braking way, way before you should actually start braking. So it could be a decent way to learn a track, but I'd say wean yourself off of racing lines as quickly as possible, in my opinion. Thanks for that, Dragon. Years of trial and error, and still more error than trial, I think. But, yeah, I tried to be a decent racer. At the Le Mans event, sort of part of the reason I won that Xbox was they had a raffle. And you had to post under a 3:45 lap time at Le Mans with the Porsche 919, which is actually kind of a bit of a challenge in Project Cars 2, because you are sort of stuck with no hybrid system. So in Forza, it doesn't simulate the hybrid system, which is a little disappointing. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna have to adjust my semi-cube right now. So 440 degrees of rotation. There we go. But yeah, so you had to get under a 440 at Le Mans, and then also it's like the 4 fastest times you actually get entered into a final, and the winner of the final actually gets 4 free Michelin tires. And ultimately, I barely missed out on the final. Right when I posted a time that would have qualified me for final, they announced the winners in the middle of my lap, which was frustrating because basically if I had gotten higher than a 339, I would have been in the final, and I posted a 335, but it was too late. I missed the cutoff by a minute and a half, which kind of sucked. But I ended up being entered into the raffle. I got entered in a raffle, and I won the Xbox. So that was a pretty nice consolation prize, if I say so myself. So, Marfran, what's in the pack? There is the Bmw M8 Gte, Chevrolet Corvette C7R GTE, the Porsche 991 RSR GTE, Norma M30 LMP2, and then the Orica 07 LMP2. Right now we are driving the Norma M30 LMP2. So we're going 170 miles an hour. I bet if we adjusted wing and stuff, we could get even quicker. Feel the rear end step out a bit. Just want to make sure the stream is running stable. This LMP2 only has 6 gears. And this has, or LMP3 I mean. I want to check something real quick, because I should have ABS and traction control off on this. Whoops, wrong button. Yeah, traction controls off. Anti-lock brakes off. So driving this car as it's intended in real life with no assists. Hey Mad Dog, how's it going? Driver model pure crap in VR, I'll agree. There is no track part of the DLC. There is no track. I'm currently driving its rFactor 1 conversion. There is no track, unfortunately. I wish there was. So we might be tapping on the rev limiter. Whoa! So that's why you have to be careful there. Ooh, that was a little scary. I'm not sure if it's just the car doesn't like trail braking, or did I just like punch it too hard. Feel like my tires are flat spotted a bit now. I feel that rumble in the wheel. But Le Mans is such a difficult track. Gotta be very careful with steering in this car. little light over there, so keep that in mind next lap. There we go. Car model and sound seem to be pretty good. I don't know what the sound for this car is off the top of my head. Couldn't really hear this car at the Le Mans party I was at. Seems to be a fun handling car, but the no ABS and no traction control really makes it a challenge. Okay, end of this lap, we will switch over to the Orica, run a couple laps in that, and then we will run a race. That should be a good way to cap off this stream. Yeah, Dragon, I got to see part of it. I was invited by Microsoft to an event in Los Angeles to watch it. So, coming to the next bus stop. Yeah, I just got back from Los Angeles yesterday. That's why I didn't really have any live streams or anything going on. So brake for here. Punch it! Yeah, the broadcast we had at the party was Velocity Channel. Whoa! Okay, okay. Avoid those curbs. Avoid those curbs. We almost just Mark Webber'd ourselves. That would not have been pretty. That would not have been pretty at all. So, I want to get something in perspective. So, let's see what kind of lap time we will put with the LMP3 car. A little wide there. Whoa, a little wide. I would have gotten a lap invalidated from Project Cars 2, I think. Yeah, the no ABS in this makes it really intense. Okay, 4:06 lap time. That exterior sound, it's pretty good again. Decent exterior sounds again. So Still not perfect, but it's good for rFactor 2, I think. There are penalty systems in rFactor 2. I think I have them off because it's practice mode. Hi, DJ, how's it going? Yeah, decent sounds. Car's pretty quick. We got, it was a 4:06. So we had a 4:06 lap time. And then we are going to jump up into the LMP2 and see how things are different. Well, DJ, there are quite a few good, unbiased, humble-ish reviewers. I'd say Gamer Muscle, he puts out great reviews. I think Sim Racing Garage, he has some of the best detailed reviews. So if you're looking for technical specs, I'd recommend Sim Racing Garage. Never met the guy, but it always seems like he puts out some great videos. I want to soon try to get to the production quality of what he puts out. I love this livery. This is the one they were promoting. It looks almost like Tron-esque. It's like a Tron-esque livery. And this is like America, red, white, and blue-ish. Or British, who knows. Interesting. B&O. Bang & Olufsen? Or is that how you call it? That's like a speaker or a headphone company. Must be a real world livery. Heusinkveld JDC or JOC. That looks real though. Oh, it's Gainsco. Ooh, I want to drive that one. Yeah, Gainsco Red Dragon. That's the team that Bmw Gidley drove for when he had his wreck. I actually got to meet him last year. Really great guy. Really nice guy. Roland TJ. What did I think of the trailer? It's a good trailer. Makes you want to drive it. Wait, is Dragon Speed number 99? Hold on. One sec. Oh gosh, I was reading the description for Dragon Speed and I almost held back a laugh because it says Elton Julian. He founded it. I don't know if you can read that. At first glance, I thought it said Elton John. I was like, wait, Elton John has a race car team? Read closer, guys. Read closer, else you'll make funny mistakes like that. Oh, I love that sound. Not perfect, but oh my, great sound. Bringing back Ender Racers memories. He should have. The livery would have been fantastic. Oh. I wish open wheel cars like sounded like this nowadays. Right off the bat, so much more downforce on this car than the LMP3. I heard that you need to press the wiper button though to fix the wiper position. So by default, a little bit of a glitch. dash designer didn't do his homework? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about like the top part of the dashboard or the actual like display? Because I'm not well knowledged enough to tell the difference. I don't know what the real life car does for this. I'll have to look at onboards and comparisons and stuff. Well, I see some stuff over to the bottom right, display-wise, and there could be stuff lower. Ooh, the car steps out from low revs. Hello from Belarus. So again, this car only has 6 gears. I think the LMP ones have 7. Seems like this car handles trail braking pretty well. This might be my favorite car in the pack so far. I mean, based off my early impressions, I'm loving the feel of this car. Great sounds. I don't know how the exterior sounds, but also this car looks pretty good too. So I'm enjoying this. Second, I'm gonna likely have to go with the Porsche. Porsche I'm a big fan of. And then the Corvette, I think. Those are my top 3 in this pack so far. So yeah, this is making me want to like put together a team. Whoa! Put together a team, run endurance races with this. So let's do one hot lap. Big lockup. Big lockup on my right tires. I'll likely feel that. Okay, I am feeling that a little through the wheel. My bad. I likely could take that in 4th gear, carry more speed into the straight. So get ready for this chicane coming up. Hey, Alvis. Thanks for joining in. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the sound for this car. You can also just tell this car is pretty darn quick. Nowhere near as quick as an LP1 car, but still pretty bad fast. Go. So time to beat in this is a 4:06. We will handily beat that, but the question is by how much? But yeah, we have headlights and windshield wipers, so we can simulate rain. And night. Just crack the throttle a bit. I love this section of the track. So tricky. So challenging to take at speed, but oh, so rewarding. So, after we finish this lap, we will do a quick race. Flash the headlights. Yeah, technically. You just turn them off and on. So this is about 15 seconds per lap better than the LMP3s. Oh my gosh. Whew. Those are some pretty good sounds. Sounds like some fine tuning needs to be done on the sound mixing, but wow. I'm liking that sound. I don't like how it's all of a sudden just so quiet there. You would still hear the car. So much fun taking the corners here. Didn't get a good entry there, that's why we ran wide there, but still, lots and lots of fun. So, let's set up a quick race. So let's see, we will turn on the race. We'll turn off practice. Laps time. We will do a 30-minute race. Actually, hold on. So we start the race at 1 p.m. I think. Time scale 25 times. And we'll just do 20 minutes for the heck of it. That'll simulate a full day-night transition. And random grid position, yes. Except I'm going to go with the Porsche. Let's go with the Porsche GTE. And I'm just going to go with the Heusinkveld livery. Because why not? And then class filter. So let's see. There should be GTE. Yes. And then LMP2, and LMP3. And that should be everyone. So let's see how well this simulates multi-class racing. Should be fun, quick race. Will any wheel work with this game? Any PC wheel, basically. Any mainstream-based USB wheel, I think, would work with this. And now we wait for this to load. Because now we are loading a lot of cars. Max vehicles 56. That would just murder your computer, I think. Almost there. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this pack so far. I really am. Lots and lots of fun. And we'll see how it performs in a race. And see how the balance of power for GTE has been. So first off, I'm going to turn on the ABS. And low traction control, I guess. And then we have to up my steering degrees of rotation in SimEQ real quick to 540. So that's good. How many cars do we have? We have 40 cars in the field. Oh, wait. Hold on. You are right. Because I guess how they changed it. Garage, general. Advanced? Or wait, GTE doesn't have ABS. Standing start. So this is going to be a time progression event. Whoa, okay, AI is not good at this track, I guess. So they might not have optimized AI for this track yet. But it's also first corneritis. We'll see if it irons out as the race progresses. Alright, once we hit Mulsanne, that's really going to show how this works. So now the field is gonna really pan out. We have an Orica passing me. Let's try to catch its slipstream. And then the Norma's behind me, LMP3. This is not online. This is with AI. So slipstream, pull out. There's 40 cars. 40 cars in the field. Okay. Shh. Warning, cut track. Okay. So, pull out on the brakes. Maybe make a move on the outside. There we go. We're a little behind that Porsche, but I think we're close enough to catch its slipstream. But also that BMW is hot on my tail. Little lockup. Hard on the brakes. Oh, you can see the glow on all the cars. You can see the brakes glowing on all of the cars. Side draft. So after the first lap, seems like the AI, they're actually battling. They're actually like dicing, moving around on the track, trying to find good lines. This is good AI. Whoa, full course yellow. Okay. Interesting. There must have been like a wreck through the Porsche curves. Or I think it's Porsche curves if I remember correctly. Gonna be under caution for quite some time. We're going quickly, though. But it's nice that rFactor 2 actually simulates full course yellows. Because think about it, Assetto Corsa doesn't. I don't think our Automobilista might. Race Room doesn't. I don't think. So it's cool to actually have a sim where you can simulate full course yellows, not with a just in an online event. Granted, I think it'd be used more in online events. But it's nice hearing the mix of all those sounds of the different cars. You can hear the V8, you can hear the Porsche sound mixing in with it. One of the nice parts of racing, you get to hear the mix of different cars together. Hopefully it's just a one-lap caution. So it should be getting darker soon, I think. I really do enjoy rFactor 2 so much. Hopefully they do refine it. It really needs that extra level of refinement. What the? What the heck? I did not see that coming. Well, good thing I had invulnerability on. I think I have invulnerability on. Hold on, let me check something. Nope, I had invulnerability off. My car should be totaled now. It wasn't lose concentration, it was just simply AI going nuts. Something Studio 397 needs to fix. I don't think rFactor 2 has 3 safety car at Le Mans or something like that. I don't think so. Because also consider this is a third-party track. Come on, brake. Hey! Get going! Screw this. I'm not taking another lap around like that. So let's change the settings real quick. Let's do a half race. Simulate the 12 hours of Sebring, I guess. So we'll do 15-15. Always cracks me up how it's like default 118 degrees on the third-party track. So session settings, flag rules, black only, I guess. We'll do 40 AI cars. Actually, no, you can't do that many, I think. We'll do 31, I think. That's how many you can have. Oh, so that's why I didn't get total. I had 50% damage on. So 50% damage on. Even with that input, I should have had more damage, but it's life. So we will simulate 12 hours of Sebring in like 15 minutes. Should be fun. So, take 2 for the race. Hopefully there won't be any crazy wrecks like that, and we can let the field spread out. This is the third-party virtual LM Sebring. First party's coming soon, and that one will be laser scanned. This is a conversion from the one that was in the original rFactor. Okay, so take 2. Let's let the field spread out a bit. Oh, that curve is brutal. So yeah, first few corners usually is a bit crazy while cars are trying to get around. I wish it would, rFactor 2 would have the option to set the grid in accordance by class. Oh, and that Porsche just flies in there. And somehow he made it stick, okay. So we've got an Orca on my left side. I bet when we hit the long straights, that's when things will start to really spread out. Oh, that Orca makes the dive on the M8 and makes that pass. Nice move. Pinch that M8 down, steal that spot. So we're starting to see this field like pan out. Whoa, shoot. That was dumb on my end. That was stupid on my end. Local yellow. And I stalled the car. So we got a ways to climb back up. That's my one mulligan for the race. I think I have the AI set a little low. That's why we're able to close in pretty quickly. There we go. We have a Corvette and BMW battling right up there. Oh, and the BMW is trying to make another move. He didn't get a good run off. Let's try to catch a side draft off the Vette. There we go. 2 cars in 1 straight. Thank you very much. So we have about, I think, 8 laps left, roughly. Maybe 7 laps. $10 minutes left, okay. So that's about 5 laps? Okay. Let's try and get a good run out of this corner. BMW's pulling me a bit. A little bit of a dive bomb, but if we make it clean, that's fine, I think. It's all local caution flag, so let's keep our eyes peeled. But this is what I would like to say iRacing in, or not iRacing, rFactor 2 in some of its best conditions. I mean, in a few minutes it's going to turn to night, so we have that. So it's going to start getting darker. We're going to be racing tonight. We're going to see the cars turn on their lights. Only thing that might make it better is a little weather, but I think we're fine for now. But we're seeing cars racing each other. We're seeing battles. Corvette versus Porsche coming up. There we go. And then that Porsche behind me is battling Porsche versus Porsche. Go. Get the slipstream. He's taking defensive line. Thanks, Aaron. I like the hat. It works. Little lockup, but we're okay. I have spam bots. Whoop whoop. I'm going somewhere in life. So it says we're 25th place overall. We can make some passes in more GTE cars. We got the draft as Beamer. Whoop. We gotta run. Is it just me, or does that white and green Corvette up there remind me a bit of the Takata NSX? 3 wide into the first corner. Oh snap, oh snap. Oh, that's a nice move. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was fun. That was really fun. Okay. That time I went for a dive bomb and I got bit. Whoops. Wait, I think I set the time progression wrong. So we're not going to get to dark. I just realized that, I think. This is a lot of fun, though. Little power on oversteer there. Little slide out. So we're gonna have about 2 laps to go. We're catching up to some of the LMP3 cars. Whoa. So I guess LMP3 and GTE aren't that far off. Whoa! That was dumb. That was my dumb mistake, and yeah, I kind of deserve that. Well, okay, that Corvette is 6th in class. So you could see the lights on the side of the car. So Corvette 6th in class. Will we get a top 5 in GTE? We'll find out. Go for the undercut. And now we're 5th in class. Okay. Going for 4th. Oh, oh, oh! 3rd got spun. Third place got spun by 2nd. Okay. They're racing hard. Trying to side draft. I don't have the preferred line though. 1 minute left in the race, but he concedes the corner to me. Okay. I'm up to 2nd. No clue where 1st in class is. I don't think we can catch him. Whoa, little oversteery. Come on. A little wide. Maybe drafting this Norma will give me some room, or give me some ground. Nope, looks like this is the last lap. Unless the LMP2s cross the line first. That LMP3 must be struggling or something. He's just so far back. Maybe he has some damage. actually just stay in 4th gear for that. Okay, we're pushing. I don't think we have enough time to catch up to first in class. Looks like we can get the podium though. Did not take that corner well. Yeah, it looks like a GTE in front of those two LMP cars, I think. Pushing hard. Ooh, really felt that car rotate. One corner left, so we're just gonna have to throw the car in there and pray it sticks. I just think they have way too much ground. It's not sticking, it's not sticking! Oh, we saved it, but it did not stick. Too much ground, too much ground. So we're gonna finish 2nd in class, 12th overall. Alright. That's one way to end it. But yeah, closing thoughts on this. Closing thoughts on the pack. I think this is the best pack so far for rFactor 2. And that's even though there is no track for it. Because if you think about it, the GT3 pack, actually GT3 pack had no track. Formula E car had the Hong Kong track. But I wish this had Le Mans. I wish it did, or at least Sebring packaged in with it, because that would have made it so much better. But still, 5 cars for I want to say it's like 15 bucks. Not a bad deal. And all these cars, they're fun to drive. They cater to different driving styles. I tend to be more of a finesse-based driver myself, so I think I prefer the Porsche. But I think the Corvette is a great all-around car. The M8 Gt3 is a challenge, but it's a lot of fun. You can tell it's a fast car. Just look at all those M8s at the front. So this is a great pack. And I think if you're a GT or LMP car fan, this is a must-have. It's a little unfortunate that there's no hybrid system in this or the traction control light. So there's no traction lights in the Porsche. There's no LMP1 with a hybrid ERS system, which is unfortunate. But hopefully in the near future, we'll get to see even more from this. Maybe there's going to be a future Endurance Pack 2 or something. That would be awesome. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. I am likely going to drive more later on. But yeah, this is going to be one of the main highlights for rFactor 2, I think. And really show off what it's capable of. But yeah, guys, so much fun. But for now, I'm going to call it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some future videos coming up as I get wrecked. But yeah, some exciting content coming up. We are going to have a recap of my Le Mans watch party event and also some other future stuff coming up soon. So thanks for watching, guys.